What's going on, guys? So today on this T.A.R.O video, that is to transform and roll out, we are going to take the Moon Studios MS-03 iron arm back to his oh so illustrious train mode. And this is a very involved transformation, so bear with me. It's going to be a long one. Apologies, and I'm going to fiddle with things because it happens. First and foremost, come over here, remove the gun from his hand. Go ahead and fold up the fingies. Actually, go ahead and get the thumb down. Now, one thing I had a problem with when getting him retransformed was making sure the thumb was in proper alignment. So, like, there's a hinge and a ball joint. If you get it really equal, it will be fine. And then come in here, open up the cavity there, fold away the hand. Actually, let's turn it this way. Now tuck it away. And then there's a slot here that this will go into. Make sure you line that up like so. And now we come over to the big ass cannon on this arm, which, by the way, that's not a requirement. It just looks pretty awesome. And once again, we'll hit the fingies and pull these up, and then you can see how the tip of the thumb is sort of off to one side, using the hinge and the ball joint. Just kind of square it up as best you can, because it can and will absolutely get hung up as you're trying to pull it out of here. So square that up. See, it tucks away really nicely, but sometimes when you're trying to get it back out, it isn't so nice. So once again, slot and boof. And one of these, on the second time I tried to transform him, actually got stuck, and I had to really try to pry it up, and that's how I got that nice scrape across these knuckles. Yeah, not bleeding for your toys. What are you doing, right? Okay, I do recommend that you have a spudger on hand, and apparently I don't know where it went. Hold on. Ding. Okay. So the spudger is completely and utterly necessary for working on this guy. Some type of pry tool is necessary. So we do want to close the arm up. You do have a hole there. You have a tab there. Pretty easy folding arm. In fact, it is the easiest folding arms out of all of these train bots so far. And you can see already where we're going with this. Yeah, there we go. And now we have this look. Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? I'm going to bring up the camera a little bit. One thing is, this is a big, chunky, heavy boy. And he's about to be splayed out in all directions. So, yeah. Okay. Before we get too much further here, let's come to the backpack. And you can see all the tabs that are holding them together right here. Go ahead and flip that out, just so you can see better. See? Do you see? It's also tabbed in right here, in those little slotskis. Let's see here. I need to figure out where all my lights are actually pointing. Okay. And we can split the backpack like so. So you end up with that situation. And then you can flip this up here. And we need to get this up and out of the way. There's a couple tabs in the way. So let's just pull that apart, flatten that out. So here's one thing. So if you could see right here, that guy goes into that spot right there, but also kind of gets in the way of really moving everything around. So we want to make these panels like so. And go ahead and flip these out so the orange parts are facing outward, just to prep them for later. Same thing over here. So rotate out so that the tab is out of the way. Unfold that. Okay, it didn't break. It just came off the hinge. Thank God. I wasn't sure, honestly, how those went together. Now I am aware. Okay, so orange part facing outward. Flip up. Flip up. Untab. Flip around. Orange part facing out. And now we've got a couple floppy hinges. Now he has wings on the back. Looks kind of like a Gundam of some sort. Alright, where do we go now? Now it's going to come to a part where the camera is very much going to be in my way. So we want to come up here, lift up, and you can see that little slot right there goes here and holds these orange bits on the side in place. And these orange bits need to flip-flop out like so. And then you have that tab was in there, or at least it should be. If it wasn't, well, you work on your transformation. Out, so you get tabby tabs. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and straighten out the leg a bit. Because, of course, I had him posed up nicely. So the legs are now straight. Okay. The hard part about this is that everything about it is dark. I'm trying to capture as much light as I can without my lights also kind of flopping out of my way. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, these things. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pry this off. Oh, yeah, I forgot to do this. I'd go ahead and pop that up as well. So now we've got this look, which is fantastic. Look at it. Untab, sort of. It doesn't really it's not like a solid tab in. It's just sort of resting inside there. Utilize a double hinge, open up these guys, and now we have access to here. You can go ahead and flop these down and extend. So these right here are a kind of pain, if I'm honest. So you can see here there's like a triple, quadruple hinge setup. And then go ahead and extend those things out. Same thing over here. So I already popped the chest loose, so that's fine. So we still want it to stay like this for train mode. If we were going to combine mode, it would look different. So when you come to the backpack, do the same thing. This is where I say you really need a spudger, because otherwise it's kind of hard to get that untabbed. Spudgers, I believe, are available on Amazon, so go find them if you need to. Okay, so this is where I start talking about how it becomes like a very exploded mess, as you can see. And you can tell the head just kind of flops off to the side. That's a good thing. So we want all of this to slide down all the way. Then just go ahead and hide your head away. And then this will come back up, technically speaking. So, like this. So a lot of our work is going to happen right here. But we want to open this. So there's a kind of T-tab there. So break that off. And then undo this. So mine has a problem with these two tabs in particular being very tight. I feel like I need to shave them down just a little bit. So you want these to be essentially like this. So these slots here are going to help you, and these are all going to help you with alignment. The other thing is that slot right there is going to take in that tab from the leg. So let's go over to the other side. Go ahead and do the same thing. Once again, these bits just out of the way as best you can. And sometimes this little sliding bit here kind of sucks. So once again, T-tab, break loose, spin outward, leave yourself some room to function. So there's hinges all over there, so you should be able to make it work. And then once again, this slot right here is our target for that. We'll have to move it all around here in a second, but this is where we have to come down here and explode them a little bit. So crotch, lift up. You've got tabs right here that are pegging in right there to help hold that together. And so I want to point out there's these tabs right here holding them together. And then if you come all the way down here to the in-between spot, you can see these little keyed thingies. Those are important. Don't forget them. So go ahead and swing this out, and now we have the ability to pull down and away from the body on a double hinge and split that, and then tuck that away, tuck that away. I haven't watched a whole lot of other reviews that do the transformation, so I don't know if everybody catches that that's a thing that you need to do. The other thing you needed to do was make sure the leg was 100% flat, and this is not an easy thing to do from this vantage point because I'm an idiot. So once again, make sure the legs are all the way down on that ratchet. There we go. Okay, so now we got this. So we got these hinges, right? So exploding mess. Look, so there's this. This is how he looks in the middle of this transformation. Honestly, reminds me a lot of. Oh yeah, actually, really reminds me a lot of the Zeta Unicron, the way it transforms. Very interesting. Not Zeta, not Unicron. Okay, so we want to slide this down. You need to make sure these hinges are kind of out of the way, so that this can come down all the way to here, and then we want that to go to there, like I said. And you're gonna have to do some finagling, because everything wants to not go that way. Okay, so there. Okay, so now that's aligned. Go ahead and tab this in, which is not tabbing in. Hold on. Tabbed in fine on that side. And come on. What is your problem here? That has never been an issue. Why is it being an issue now? Oh, I know why the camera's on. Okay. Oh, the leg was ever so slightly turned. There we go. So that's one thing you got to double make sure. Now for the leg itself, make sure you got these hinges out and then rotate straight. And then we're going to tab that into there, like so. For those who didn't see that, there's tab, and goes into that little guy right there. So that's good there, and then we'll be transforming all this in a bit. So we need to come over here and do the same thing. I know, it's ridiculous. This time we're going to turn the leg straight before we go. Yeah, do the smart thing. And slide down. Make sure you got room here. Bring it up. Come on. There we go. Tucked in. Tabbed in. Tabbed in. And tabbed in. Okay. Well, it was tabbed in. Now it's not. Why are you being goofy? Why is that under stress? That's not normal. Maybe that's better. Yeah, okay. So, no, it's still popping off. That's weird. That's not normally under any kind of extra stress. I don't know why it is now. Oh well. It'll hold together when we're done, but I have to stop for just a second. Okay, back to it. So, what we now need to do, since we have this here, this needs to go over this way. So this whole section double hinges down and tabs into there. It's supposed to. And same thing over here. Flip this guy down and in. By the way, guys, I'll take this moment to point it out. In the bag of stuff that you get, like this bag right here, it comes with some hole fillers, and that's one of them right there. So one for each side, and then the other one is in the hips right here. I'll probably show it better in the normal part of the video, but or normal part of the review. So make sure you stick around for that. I gotta remember to point that out. This is still not tabbing in worth a damn. There it goes. Okay, so what we need to do here is we need this to swing around under here, under the cab section. And we have to do that by bringing this down. And this area has several hinges. So you have a hinge here, a swivel here, and a rotation joint there. And I don't know which side is which until I do it, but one of them is insanely tight and feels like it's going to break off. So I have to be very careful when I do this. So we want to swing this out. And basically, I think this is just going to end up over here. Now, I couldn't tell you exactly how those hinges work to get us there, but that's where you're going to go. All right, and then you've got these slots here that will go on to those tabs there, but because we don't have this ready to go yet, because I didn't do the legs, we're not going to do that just yet, because I forgot to finish up the legs. But at least that got us to that point, right? Right, okay. So swing this out, down, like this. Some of you were watching that and went, hey, he hasn't done this yet. No. In my brain, I'm like, yeah, I should have done that already. Okay, so that's not correct, because that doesn't go that way. It has to go. See, this is the problem, is that sometimes you gotta come out and across in front of things. And see, that side, these two things hinge separately. There we go. Make my life easier. Okay, so you see how this is now wonky but facing the wrong direction? So now we need to flip her around, and then that will drop down here. So we can see how this is all janky up under there. That's probably how it should go. That side's probably wrong. So I'm going to go over here and fix this. Doing the same exact problem. Okay, so this hinge needs to come to the outside. All right, so let's do the legs now, since I completely forgot about that. Actually, I didn't forget about it. I just didn't know where to insert it. So we need to come back here. This is always key to every section of this. Grab this black part and pull it out so it tabs in here, like so. All right, it also has a little bit of a tab there that goes into that little slot there on the orange part. And then we want to bring down the orange part, actually. And now come out. There's tabs here and here. Pull out like so. And then we want to rotate this whole section 180. So one thing about this train is that these panels flip-flop a lot. Every transformation, they switch places. So flip out, stick this out, rotate 180. And then we'll mess around with the wheels here in a minute. The other thing is, you just got to make sure that these die-cast parts are really tucked up in here. Though I think there's a sweet spot, and I'll show you here in a second what I mean. All right, so this orange part, we need to rotate out of the way, like so. Grab the toes, bring them in, and then grab this section, and it needs to pop up. Might be worth having a spooger. So this does tab in. And then it wants you to just bring it down pretty much like that. And we'll bring this to the inside, swing this around. But we need to flip this part right here, this orange little tab part, swing that out to complete the front of the train. Bring this in like so. And this will rest like pretty much right like that. And then every now and then you keep hitting that section there and it gets a little wonky. It's a little wonky donkey. Okay, so grab this part. Oh, this way. Oh, other thing that's super important. These parts rotate every transformation too. If you're rotating this part, you need to rotate this part. Because it has these two tabs that are always holding shit together. So I want to bring this back up and tab down. Son of a bitch. Like so. And the tabs will now go in over there into this. And hold on, let me see here. So one thing is these little help combination tab things need to always sort of be in a clear spot, or else they'll end up rubbing against the plastic. So around about there, I think is okay. Seems like it. Okay, so let's bring this back up. Says it's untabbed. Damn it. Damn it, Bobby. Okay, anyways. Then we come back up to the front. Go ahead and swing this up, like I said before. Bring this in. And now that forms the front of the train. The front of the train. Okay, now the black parts here. Swing this forward, swing that out, swing this forward. That will tab in right here and right there. And then this has the little extendy part. So that needs to go in, and it will lock, well, kind of lock all of this together like so across the front of the train. And then we have the black part will tab into the orange part once again on the other side. Now that connection, not as good as the others. I'll fix the wheels once we get the rest of the train solidified. This is still giving me grief over here. But let's go ahead and finish this side since we're here. So bring this in, drop it down on top of that, so that locks all of this in place, and we'll swing this down, and then this tabs into there, like so. You know, looks funny that they leave all that exposed, but you know, that's what they do. Seriously though, why? This has never been an issue, and now today on camera it wants to be. Also, this tab here will tab into that slot right there. So don't forget to do that as you rotate this into place, and then come down to the bottom to double check and make sure everybody is tabbing together super nice, like so. So now we're tabbed in here, here, there, there, there. Okay. And then, I'm going to swing that out of my way. This one here, we have to get this to rotate forward, pretty much just like so, but you're also going to have to rotate it here. So this needs to go 180, and then that's going to go 90. Oh, like that. Okay. So now this thing will come into here. There's a couple slots back there that these will tab into. And then you will rest this right down. And there. About as good as you can get it. Like just really try your best to tab it all together, because sometimes it just doesn't. Like, there we go. So that, honestly, doesn't do a whole lot to hold anything together. I'm just being honest with you. It's supposed to. It's helping alignment and whatnot, but it doesn't necessarily work. And it feels like as long as that's not tabbed in, this doesn't want to stay tabbed in, and blah, 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 blah. It's getting annoying. Okay, so let's go do the other leg. And once again, come back here. It's a good thing that everything on this thing is mirrored. Like, not even mirrored, it's actually pretty much identical. Come on, get out of there. So, this is if you don't have a spudger. You can do this. It's just harder, if I'm honest with you. Untab. Bring out. Flip this out just for space. Rotate. Rotate. Flip out. Tab in. Hold. Flip out. Flip out. Rotate. Rotate. Tab in. Rotate. Spin. In. Go ahead and fix the toe. Untab. Turn that. Rotate. Rotate. Flip this out. Come on. Like so. And then line this up. Line that up. So those are just kind of helping each other. Bring this up. Tab that in. Push together. Oh, I didn't see that coming. Okay, so let's just get this in here first. Okay, like so. Then bring this in, because it will help tab everybody together. And bring that foot up just to help support. Tab that back in. Swing this around. Tab all of that in. So now the front of our train is pretty much secure. Or back of our train, whichever is which, because frankly, it's, you know, it's a mirror image of itself, so whatever. Bring this over. Tab this in, like so. I missed entirely over there. What the heck? How did I miss? Like, it's like that didn't even make sense. Okay, swing this under. Like that. Tab into the side like that. Swing it down. Tab it in. Tab it in. Tab it in. Tab it in. Okay, so this is the one that's a lot harder. So the other side is the one that is cooperative. This is the side that hates me. Okay, so we want to rotate this 180 without completely snapping everything in half. As you can see, it does not. It just does not. Like, you can hear it. It is insanely tight. And the only thing otherwise is that hinge. Okay. I swear to God, it gets harder every time I do this. Okay. So, we'll flip that back down. God damn. And then hinge that way. And then do everything in your power to rotate it the last frickin' centimeter. And get it lined up. And tabbed in on the bottom and top at the same time, which is not always doable. In fact, half the time it is not doable. And as you can see on that side, it always comes untabbed. Alright, so next bit, we need to go ahead and solidify these parts. So there's a couple of flip out tabs right here. And that will help lock the skirts in place. And then we want to bring them down just out of the way for right now, because then we need to get this next part in place before we can really get these down. So double hinge these kind of down and out of the way. So these parts here, which were the robot chest, now have to do some fun trickery. So this is a big double swingy hinge, but it's kind of cantilevered. So it actually comes down like this, and then the entire fucking thing splits. So that's the best part about this, is when all the panels start coming apart. Alright, so this is the ultimate position you want the center section to be at. However, you can see now that these panels are out of alignment because you can see the white stripe there does not do the thing. So these actually have a couple of off-center hinges here. That's actually, I guess, one hinge on two swivels is really what it is. And you want to swing it down to the best of your ability so that it's like this. So you want this to come down as far as it will. Just kind of keep rocking it until it gets to where it needs to go. And then this will tab in. Let me see over here. Let me flip this up. The orange little tab thing will tab back into a slot over there. And then straighten this out. You can't move that really unless you have that out of the way. Now, I will say on mine, all of these panels are barely held together. So as I'm doing this, it wants to split. So I'm trying to hold it in place so it does not. Fix that. Tab in here. And then the big tab there will solidify there into a slightly different slot than before. And now we come to the bottom here, and the same two tabs that were holding the crotch together will go in there, like so. So sort of sit flat like that. We're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. All right, so we need to come back onto this side, and this might be the troublesome one, so let me tilt the camera down. They're trying to hold this thing up at distance constantly. Rotate up for clearance. Swing this guy down like so. Rotate up for clearance. And like I said, it's an off center, so like there's a pivot here and then a pivot there. So it doesn't always want to do the thing that it's supposed to do. Sometimes it wants to go the opposite direction instead. There we go. As long as you end up lower, that's all that matters, right? Okay. Once again, this section being stupid. So, double hinge here. Don't do that. So swing this back down till that part is tucked away. Go ahead and fix your vents and push down, tab that in, tab that in, tab that in. All right, now that we're done, well, our tabbery, come down here, joint, and squish, and that's tabbed in, and that's tabbed in. So that's pretty much it for the train mode, except for the wheels. So let's just square everything up as best we can, come down to the wheels. And these are particularly tight on mine. I don't know about y'all's. So spudger, definitely necessary here, or you might break your wheels off. Basically, just do that. And while it does have the little rotating secure thingies, like right here, I'm going to say not necessary on this one, because mine are super tight. If y'all's are looser, then by all means use those. I'm not, because it's just not that impressive. Okay, so you see I had to move all that. I could see it wasn't squished in and held together worth a damn. Now it is. And that side's okay, so let's do the wheels over here. So just take spudger, basically shove it all the way up under there. This side is really tight. Like, you really need to get some leverage on that. And then same thing here. Down and good. Squeeze, tab, and I think that's it. Is that it? Yes, that's it. Okay. And yes, I know I sound like I'm ghost sometimes. There we go. There is our iron arm, 30 some odd minutes later in train mode. Now there's a little bit of finagling you can do, like to get this little part here lined up just right, and that little spot there tends to get a little out of whack, but you can fix it up. But that's pretty much it. And then, like, the major problem I have is that this doesn't sit down. Like, it just doesn't lock into place as good as the rest of them do. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm not planning on keeping these boys in train mode anyways. So, it is what it is, guys. And he is a long boy. Like, look, he is almost the depth of my glass plate here. So, it is what it is. Way long train boy. But that's going to be it for this T.A.R.O video, guys. And of course, if you watch the regular review, go ahead and, you know, leave that a like as well. And good God, it's sweaty work working on big transformers like this. Not gonna lie, very sweaty work. And then this guy is the most troublesome panel wise, but I'll go over that in the actual review. But I'll see you guys on the next one. And remember, as always, to transform. And, well, I guess try to roll out, because, like, if you don't have tracks, it's not going to go very far. So, alright, bye, guys.